A very good evening. Welcome to Lookuptv News, coming to you live from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. And on this 7th day of September, we've got lots lined up for you. Before we get into it, here are our top stories.
Tonight on Lookuptv News, 5 former Nairobi City Hall officials on the spot over loss of millions within Nairobi County Alcoholic Drinks Control and Licensing Board. Reforms at Immigration Department taking shape, says Interior CS Kithure Kindiki as he makes an impromptu visit at Nyayo House.
Wakati nilifika hapa niliandikwa madawa, nikaenda kuweka nyumbani. Ikaendelea kusikia, ikaanza kutoa usaha.
And we tell you how a day-to-day typical shower left a Nakuru woman deaf.
Once more, welcome to the broadcast. The hashtag is Lookuptv News. I am Nancy Nalima. Do stay with me as I bring you after-spirited stories that are making headlines across all of 47 counties. Let's begin. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki now says the current backlog in printing of passports will be cleared in the next 10 days. The CS, who made another visit to the immigration offices at Nyayo House on Thursday to assess the progress after radical reforms last week, is adamant his ministry will streamline the operations of the troubled immigration department to rid it of corruption.
On Thursday afternoon, Security Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki made another visit to immigration offices at Nyayo House. His visit coming just a week after he announced a series of changes to streamline operations in the department that had left Kenyans in anguish and pain as they sought travel documents.
We are in a better place than where we were last week. The queues are shorter, the movement is faster. But still, we have a journey to travel. And therefore, much of today, we have been doing strategy with the teams here. Because as I promised, we must crack this problem.
As opposed to scenes that elicited outcry from hundreds of Kenyans who had endured months of frustration without laying hands on the much-sought passports, Thursday evening painted a different picture of a staff that had adopted efficient delivery of services. This, even as the CS noted, there are still major challenges to hit optimal operations.
We discovered that in between the last time I was here and now, we've had new challenges, and we've seen how to address those challenges so that we make sure that even the new applications that are coming in are also processed in such a way that they don't create another backlog after we have cleared with the current backlog.
With a number of Kenyans still in the queue to get their passports, CS Kindiki has assured their wait will be over in the next 10 days.
In 10 days from now, there will be no single backlog matter on passports. We will deliver as promised.
The government is intent on finding a long-term solution to the problem, and the Security Ministry is in the process of procuring new equipment to ease the process of passport printing.
As I announced last week, we have made arrangements for more equipment. The equipment has not arrived. The new equipment has not arrived. As you are aware, we must use the government procedures on procurement. And so our hands are tied to how fast we can do some things.
Many Kenyans will hope CS Kindiki's assurance will heal one of the most crucial departments in the country, but that which has suffered chronic cases of corruption and unprofessionalism. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
And WorldCoin Data Commissioner Immaculate Kasait has called on lawmakers to review the Data Protection Act 2019 and its regulations following the controversial WorldCoin registration. Her sentiments come after concerns were raised about the privacy and security of personal data collected from Kenyans. WorldCoin is a cryptocurrency initiative that claims to offer universal basic income to its users by scanning their eyes.
Appearing before the WorldCoin Ada Committee Data Collection Commission After cancelling the WorldCoin registration certificate, the Commission now states that it has put the precaution measures of safeguarding people's rights on data privacy.
Chain members on safety measures, Tool for Humanity Corporate alleged the following technical and organization measures to mitigate risks and ensure compliance with the data protection principles. Development and implementation of policies such as code of conduct, internal biometrics, processing policy, internal information security policy, personal continuity plan, personal code of conduct, incident reporting plan, encryption and partitioning of data, logical access, traceability, logging, archiving and minimizing the amount of data, operating security and protection of servers, cyber and cloud services, managing hardware backups and network security.
Even after measures have been put, the question of what will happen to the data collected, how can it be retrieved now that is currently stored out of the country, still remains unanswered.
How are the Kenyans whose data are in the custody of the said entities going to be erased? Or how are we going to get back, if you've reversed the whatever, the registration that indeed you did for them, then how are we going to reverse? Or how are we going to get back our data from wherever they took it to? I understand it is South Africa or wherever, because
appearing before the committee yesterday, WorldCoin CEO Alex Blania said that data collected cannot be retrieved. The Data Collection Act stating the rights of data privacy. The Commission further said that the data is safe and the Commission is working for its retrieval.
30th of May was actually based on law. We told them to cease operation on 2 issues, 3. One was the lawful basis, which I had said under section get me the letter for the lawful basis is section 30 of the Act. It gives 7 lawful bases. WorldCoin team has various partners and associates, and we did not license any of the partners or associates. The only entities that are registered, we know they have partners such as Strathmore University, Sense Network Consultants.
And away from that, Kiambaa Member of Parliament John Njuguna Wanjiku today appeared before the National Assembly Select Committee on Budget and Expenditure, led by Kihara Lomik and Ndindi Nyoro, regarding his proposal for the amendment of the Tender Act 2023 involving both local and foreign individuals and companies in the country. Stanley Lugari now files the committee, wants Wanjiku to ensure that the bill closes all the loopholes in the entire award of tenders for local and foreign companies in the country.
Somehow this bill very directly should be able to show that we are promoting this industry, but then it may take this number of years or this kind of investment to have this kind of technology, because eventually protectionism should not serve protectionism.
The Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Amendment Bill of 2023 aims to change the law and ensure that tenders costing less than 1 billion shillings are given to local companies, while those costing more given to foreign individuals and companies, although on condition that 30% of the cost of tenders should be reserved for the locals in order to balance competition and empower them.
And therefore it is very prudent for us, and even that's why I thought that it is important for us to make sure we put a threshold whereby we support and we promote the local business people, because we have quite a number of people with this capacity, but because of the competition that they have with foreign firms, they are not able even to be realized or to realize their potential in support of their country and the economy.
According to Kiambaa lawmaker Njuguna Wanjiku, proposals as contained in the bill are intended to support the local economy, socio-economic development and bring development in the entire nation, following the laws of funds are returned to the countries of the bidders from the foreign countries.
You give the foreign firms a lot of money, they make a lot of profit, even if it's 30% or 40% of that money. But at the end of the day, that money is shifted again from our country and taken to their mother country.
The bill intends to bring procedures in the relevant sectors that offer tenders by including locals in the entire process and improve the efficiency of competing favorably, even though fellow MPs now want him to ensure that key topical and issues of interest are included in the bill to ensure that it addresses the sensitive issues of native registered as locals in the country selling bid given to them to foreigners. On on the allegations of lack of funds from local funding to complete the tenders awarded.
How will it address some of these issues, especially the fact that local companies are not lack sufficient capacity, first of all, to execute projects in time. Also, they lack resources.
A better time between 2013 2017, whereby the local banks were really supporting what we call tenderers in terms of getting an LPO. You get financing from the local banks, but after 2017 we have had a way that the banks are also running away from supporting the tenders, because actually the main elephant in the room is because of the pending bills.
Now switching gears to an interesting story. Cecilia Kerubo, a 63-year-old mother of 6, has experienced a significant change in her life that disrupted her daily routine after taking a shower that left her deaf. According to Kerubo, water got into her left ear and caused a blockage that led to her hearing impairment. Ruga Eval now narrates her situation, how her situation is now different after undergoing a successful surgery that has restored her ability to hear.
One morning in the year 2014, while taking a shower, water entered her left ear, leading to a blockage. Initially, she hoped it would resolve itself, but instead, the condition worsened, causing blood to ooze from her ear and resulting in the loss of her hearing. This compelled Kerubo to seek medical attention at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital.
Wakati nilifika hapa niliandikwa madawa, nikaenda kuweka nyumbani. Ikaendelea kusikia, ikaanza kutoa usaha. Hiyo miaka yote paka mwaka huu nilikuwa inakuja tu kliniki naandikiwa madawa. Na hiyo madawa mara mingi ingine inapata hapa ndani. Yenye naandikiwa niende kununua, inakosa pesa ya kununua. Lakini inaweka tena inaruti.
Upon her first visit, doctors diagnosed her with an ear infection and prescribed medication. However, the situation worsened further, and subsequent scans revealed that she had a tear in her ear.
Ya kwanza, daktari waliniambia nifanywe skani. Kafanywa skani hapa hospitali ndani. Wakaona kuna simu iko kwa sikio. Kaandika madawa, nikaendelea kuweka, sikusikia vizuri.
Doctors recommended surgery, which took place successfully on the 3rd of September this year. As a result of the operation, Kerubo regained her hearing.
Sikuwa nasikia na hiyo sikio, hiyo miaka yote nasikia na ya kulia, lakini ya kusoto sikiangi. Hata mtu akiongea. Saa hii naona niko afadhali na niko nafuu.
Kerubo has expressed her gratitude towards the doctors at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital for restoring her ability to hear. She also urged other Kenyans experiencing similar symptoms to seek medical help to avoid permanent hearing loss.
Naendelea kuomba Mungu. Namshukuru sana kwa madaktari kazi yenye wanafanya. Ninashukuru hata serikali. Mungu awaongoze, aendelee kututendea mema. Sasa kama mtu mwenye ako na sita kama hiyo yangu, akimbilie hospitali, akuje medical na atasaidiwa.
Dr. Michael Sitima, an ear, nose and throat surgeon at the hospital, explained that ear disease is a prevalent cause of hearing loss in Kenya. Often, Sitima observed that such conditions start during childhood, marked by ear discharge. These infections, he said, can arise from various sources, including flu, contaminated water in pools or rivers, or upper respiratory tract infections that spread to the ear.
Wagonjwa ambao wanahitaji huduma hizi za upasuaji wa sikio sana sana ni wagonjwa ambao wanakuwa na shida ya kutokwa na usaha kwenye masikio. Wagonjwa ambao wanakuwa na shida ya ile tunaita tumor ama growth mingi za aina nyingi kwenye masikio, na wagonjwa ambao wana shida ya usikivu. Wagonjwa hawa wote wanaweza wakasaidika katika hali ya upasuaji.
Ruga Eval, Lookuptv.
Right, thank you so much for that story. A good time for us to take a very short break here on Look Up News. So much more on the other side. Don't go too far.
Realize your home ownership dream by investing in Brookvale Tuala, a magnificent prime residential property located in Ongata Rongai. Brookvale Tuala by Safaricom Investment Cooperative overlooks the majestic Ngong Hills and lies only 24 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. The project boasts of well-serviced plots with a perimeter wall, graded roads and a borehole. 50 by 100 plots are going for 1.4 million shillings with a flexible payment plan of up to 6 months. To book your plot, call 0729-121212 today. Safaricom Investment Cooperative, the investment partner of choice.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with Lookuptv. This is Lookup News. I am Nancy Nalima, and let's continue. Fistula survivors have been brought together by the Let's End Fistula Initiative, whose main aim is making motherhood safe for every woman, with a condition highlighting the clear links between fistula, child marriage, child pregnancy, and female genital mutilation. As A.B. Kadeni now reports, the initiative will see women put into groups and given psychological help, which will help them regain their confidence, both physically and socially, as well as skills to acquire income.
Women who experience fistula suffer constant shame, segregation, and other health problems. Survivors from different parts of the country under the theme Let's End Fistula Initiative did not hold back expressing their gratitude to the organization for being there and helping them overcome the health-related issue.
Ile wakati mimi nimepata fistula ni wakati ile ambayo nilipata mtoto wangu wa mwisho na ikaonekana kwamba uzazi wangu ulikuwa umeharibika. Nilikuwa natoka na mkojo kila wakati mpaka nikashangaa ni nini inafanyika na mimi.
Ilikuwa tu kwa sababu si kushoneliwa vizuri wakati nilizaa. Wakati nilizaa wale matwin si kushonwa vizuri. Sasa makocha ilikuwa inatoka tu ofyo. Hata si kuwa natembea hata kuenda kwa matanga ama kanisani. Nilikuwa tu nashinda kwa bedroom yangu. Hata wakati ilifika, hata msa yangu alikuwa ameanza hata kunitoroka kwa sababu ya hiyo harufu.
Mary Kabukwi, the chairperson of Fistula Survivors Group, narrates her fistula story while encouraging other women who have held back to seek treatment to one of the most serious and tragic childbirth complications.
Na kuna watu wengine huku nje ambao ni wagonjwa lakini wameogopa kusema maneno yao. Mujitokeze nje, mukuje, mutibiwe bure. Hakuna pesa ambayo sisi tulitoa.
Lefi organization has now joined in the campaign against fistula by giving out a check worth 60,000 Kenya shillings to the survivors group to cater for their needs and other fistula survivors awaiting treatment. Women who were further advised to give birth in medical centers and hospitals as fistula is almost entirely preventable.
Wakati mama anapopata mimba na katika hali ya kuzaa, kuna wale hata tunasema wanachelewa kwanza kwenda kwa kliniki ili wapate maagizo na ukaangaliwa ako katika hali gani, mtoto amekaa namna gani na anaendelea namna gani. So unapata wakati wa kuzaa hawaendi katika kituo cha afya kuzaa.
Fistula is one of the most severe childbirth related complication
with young mothers facing the higher risk, with an appeal made for young girls to abstain from premarital sexual activities which lead to early pregnancies.
Kuzuia hii hali ya mama kupata mtoto nyumbani, kupata akiwa katika kile kiwango ambacho haitakani, that is early pregnancy or teenage pregnancy, sinaleta hizo mashida. Tunawaomba wasichukulike ama wasianje mambo ya ngono mapema.
Ebi Kadenyi, Lookuptv.
Now, residents from parts of Laikipia West in Laikipia County are staring at starvation as the crops they planted during the March-May long rain season withered due to lack of rains. The disappointed residents now want the government to mitigate the situation.
The Rumoruti division has revealed that most agricultural lands are drying out and becoming barren as weather patterns change. Drought has left farmers without crops they have relied on for generations. The maize has turned to dry husks. William Barusei, a maize farmer, said the drought has taken a toll on them for past few years, noting that even their livestock have not been spared. Richard Kibiwot echoed the sentiment, saying a change of climate was to blame for their worrying situation.
Ndini mimi nakwambia ndio mahali ilianzia sasa ukame kamili. Ikawa baka leo watu wameuza ng'ombe hawana. Kitu inaitwa kondoo zimeisha. Na hiyo ndiyo ilikuwa imekamatia hapo about 4 years hiyo. Lakini kwa sasa vile watu naangalia na mbele hapa, ni sorry.
Dr. Gitao Ndichu, an environmentalist and a climate change expert, observed that despite the area being an arable land, farmers have continued to incur huge losses due to crop failure caused by drought. He observed that forest destruction and charcoal burning have immensely contributed to the negative effects of climate change.
Lakini kulingana na wakaaji wa hapa na historia ambao tumeona ni kwamba kwa miaka 4-5 hivi hawajakuwa na mavuno. Na kwa hivyo hiyo ni changamoto kubwa sana ambao wamekuwa nayo, na pia kumekuwa na uchomaji wa makaa kwa njia kubwa sana ambayo hiyo inasababishwa na kuharibiwa kwa misitu. Pia tumeona ukataji wa miti.
To resolve the crisis, Gitao encourages residents to plant more trees to mitigate the situation and to embrace smart farming of drought-resistant crops to avert hunger.
Katika local level ama katika sehemu zetu tunahitaji kuhimiza watu wetu wapande miti kwa wingi ndio iweze kuwa inachukua carbon kutoka kwa hewa.
The residents are now calling on the government to dig boreholes to enable them practice irrigation instead of depending on rains.
Tungeomba tu serikali kama ingewezekana watuletee hata kama ni mbegu ndio tuweze kupanda. Na watuletee mbegu ya miezi kidogo juu tuna mvua ni ya miezi 3 ya El Nino. Ndio tuone kama tunaweza vuna kama watu wengine.
Nushin Mungasia, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Back here in Nairobi, former Nairobi County government officials led by former trade executive member Alan Igambe, among 5 others, are facing serious questions regarding the embezzlement of funds from the Nairobi City County Alcoholic Drinks Control and Licensing Board. According to the County Public Accounts Committee, the board could not provide financial statements for at least 700 million shillings and now want the DCI to swing into action and investigate the former top brass county officials.
With the Auditor General's report indicating that the Nairobi City County Drinks Control and Licensing Board, which was set in place on the 19th of May 2014, collected a whopping 477 million in the 2018-2019 financial year and 515 million shillings in the financial year 2019-2020. The Nairobi County Assembly Public Accounts Committee, led by the chairperson Shege Mwaura, want the Directorate of Criminal Investigation to kickstart investigations as the board could not provide documentation for at least 700 million shillings. The committee has called upon the DCI and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate Alan Igambe, the former Chief Executive Committee member for Trade, Jairus Musumba, former Chief Officer Trade, Mohamed Sahal, also the former Chief Officer for Trade, Esbon Agwana, the former Director of the Licensing Board, and Julius Mateko, the former accountant of the Licensing Board, for the embezzlement of 2 million shillings, which is unaccounted for by the board. According to the committee, the board failed to provide financial statements from the financial year 2014-2015 to the financial year 2019-2020, thus raising a reason for concern. The board is also on the spot over the payment of allowances to board members, which include workshop allowance amounting to 58 million shillings, monthly allowance amounting to 35 million shillings, and monthly sittings amounting to 3.5 million shillings, with the total amount in question amounting to 96.5 million shillings, and are calling on EACC and the DCA to ensure that the funds are recovered. With the board on the spot for spending at least 777,000 on the rehabilitation of Congestina Achieng, the committee lauded the board as one of its core functions is to rehabilitate those faced with drug addiction. However, the committee lamented over failure by the board to provide financial statements for the allowances paid during the board meetings, while calling on the DCI and EACC to ensure proper investigations are done and forward its report to the committee within 60 days. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Now, sustainable farming methods are on the rise in the country as agroecology takes space as one of the sustainable farming methods towards safe food production and healthy living. Evelyn Adhiambo, an agroecology farmer stationed at Nyakach North Ward in Kisumu County, is among one of the 200 farmers that have been practicing agroecology in the area, and alongside other farmers, they have identified a 76-acre piece of communal land in Nyakach North Ward where they plan to practice agroecology and regenerative agriculture to revive and protect heritage foods, preserve ancient agricultural knowledge, and sustainable practices.
For 5 years, Evelyn Okola has had good yields from my 11-acre farm deep in Nyakach North Village, Kisumu County. As a farmer, she believes in the model of sustainable farming and has embraced agroecology, a farming approach where food production makes the best use of nature without destroying the same resources. Okola says her agricultural produce, especially African indigenous vegetables including jute mallow, vegetable cowpea, African nightshade, spider plant, pumpkin leaves, and African kale, are giving her value for money because she practices regenerative agriculture.
I'm a farmer. I'm doing farming of agroecology. I'm used to call it circular economy, where I'm doing some vegetables, different varieties of vegetables. I have 15 different varieties of vegetables. I have the clotalaria, I have the black nightshade, I have the slender leaves, that is clotalaria, and I have the amaranth. I have so many varieties. There are 15. The cowpeas. So the cowpeas I have different varieties of the cowpeas.
Speaking to the press, Okola added that she does seed exchange with other farmers and have identified a 76-acre piece of communal land in Nyakach where they plan to practice agroecology and regenerative agriculture to revive and protect heritage foods and sustainable practices.
So I conserve them. I conserve these seeds. I multiply and I conserve, so people from my community can come and loan. And after loaning, they will return twice of what I gave out, the quantity that I gave out. And I can also, if they need the vegetables, some also say that they want to buy the vegetables. So I've not started selling the vegetables, but I do what is called the farmer seed exchange. So I'm urging young women that we should embrace this thing of agroecology. We should embrace farming, because even if you see here in our country, Kenya, we are just poor because we don't have enough food. But if we can have enough food on the table, I think for you to go and buy something there, you will just keep that money for maybe school fees and anything.
Hadassah Christel, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
And residents of Mumangani area in Malindi Sub-County today held a peaceful demonstration protesting against what they termed as invasion of their land by Agricultural Development Corporation. According to the residents, approximately 60 families have been affected by the land invasion, while most of the families have lost between 2 and 6 acres despite having title deeds. The residents are now calling upon President William RUTO and Governor Gideon Mung'aro to intervene and make sure they do not lose their property. Beatrice Njoroge with a county rep.
As land ownership wrangle continue to face people in the coastal region, residents of Mumangani area in Malindi County claim that Agricultural Development Corporation has been surveying their land and putting beacons in the last few days despite landowners having title deeds. Locals say 60 families have been affected, with some even losing between 2 to 6 acres of their land in the ongoing ADC boundary marking.
Malimo tulikuwa tunajua ya kwamba huku kuna ardhi ambayo ni ya ADC. Ardhi hii ni ardhi ambayo imetengwa maalum kwa upanuzi wa miradi ya serikali. Katika ile mipaka tunayoijua ya shamba ya ADC sivyo ambavyo imetolewa, na ukweli ni kwamba wananchi wenyewe hawakuhusishwa. Wananchi wa Kakuyuni Ward hawakuhusishwa. Ama ulihusishwa? Wananchi wa Malimo hawakuhusishwa.
Residents of Kandui in Bungoma County have decried an invasion of jiggers that has affected numerous families. The Red Cross Bungoma branch has called on the county government as well as Good Samaritans to intervene in efforts to fight jiggers and bedbugs, which has been greatly influenced by climate change and environmental pollution.
East Sangalo, mulisikia hata chief akatuandikia barua, anataka tusaidie. Karibu household zote ziko na pet bugs. Sasa tunangangana na chikas, chinyende, alafu pia tunangangana na pet bugs. Na uwezo wetu ni mdogo.
Also in Isiolo County, youth have been presented with an opportunity to be recruited as rangers for the first time since the onset of devolution, with the last cohort who are currently serving were recruited 30 years ago.
Kuna candidates 123, so we are waiting to see how many will show up, the percentage. Baadaye tutaweza kujua.
750 candidates were shortlisted, where they appealed for fairness in later stages of the selection process. Beatrice Njoroge, Lookuptv.
Time now for us to get sporty. St. Anthony Boys High School Starman Aldrin Kibet has been awarded August Player of the Month by Sports Journalists Association of Kenya. The 17-year-old was exceptional in the National High School Games, scoring 7 goals, including 2 in the finals. Kibet's top-notch performance earned him Most Valuable Player of the tournament.
A young talent, because not so often do we get to have the national championships happening in the world. It happens I know it happens every yearly, but having a performer, a person that you will go to the national championship and say, national school games and say, this person is so much outstanding, it does not happen that so often. And simply because of that, we said, yes, a young talent has emerged, one which will be going to Spain to continue doing some fantastic work.
Gifts. It will boost my confidence. It will motivate me to work for more so I could get rewarded more. Finally, I'd like to appreciate all of you who are here. I thank you for the support. My coach, Mr. Mayoyo, my parents. I thank you all for being here.
Safaricom Chapa Dimba tournament continues its thrilling journey as it heads to Siaya and Kisii counties for the Nyanza County finals this weekend. On Saturday, Siaya County will set the stage for an electrifying opening match between Jera girls from Ugenya and VCA girls from Gem that will take place at Siaya KMTC grounds. In the boys category, Ambira Mubimba Secondary School from Ugunja will take on St. Peter's Wagai Mixed Secondary School from Gem. And just like that, we've come to the end of the broadcast this evening. We appreciate you so much for being part of this. And we've run out of time. I will be sampling your feedback maybe tomorrow in our broadcast. But for now, it's good night. I am Nansina Lima. Keep it right here on Lookuptv. Let's continue engaging across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. As well as if you want to get the latest on stories that are making headlines, www.lookuptv.co.ke. But for now, it's good night.